Welcome, Ashley, to this Women in Business exclusive interview. So today we're going to talk about you and your business, shine a light on you and your business. And I'm really excited about this one because the transformational change that's happened from when we first met is just through the roof. And
Mind
I'm
blowing.
really looking forward to sharing this with everyone on the call. But first off, I just want to tell everybody how we met. So I was launching a women in business networking group in Altrincham, and I'm the kind of person who takes a leap of faith because sometimes you need to have belief and take a leap of faith. So I launched the Altrincham group. I put a date in the diary. I knew it was going to launch in October 2023. God, is that what
I know.
but I didn't have a venue, and I just knew, don't worry about a thing, Sue. The venue will come. The venue will come. And then, Ashley, you gave me a call and you work at Myers and Solicitors in Altrincham, and you was dead excited because you're all about celebrating women and supporting women. And you wanted to come and visit, and you sounded absolutely fab, perfect person to come to women. And you said, have you got a venue? I'm like, no, no, I don't. You went, would you like to host it at Myerson's? I'm like, yes, yes, I would. Right. And anyway, I put the phone down and I just go, thank you, universe. Because people bring you everything you need. And I think sometimes we get in our own way because we need to have everything planned out and mapped out. Or we might stall and not do something because we haven't got all the right pieces in the puzzle. And I'm a firm believer you need to have a plan, high level plan, have some pieces in there, and then the right people come your way.
It will all fall into place.
So basically in October 2023 is when we met.
Yep.
Um, so now that's how I know you. Over to you. So tell me everything about you and what you do now.
So I worked at Myers and Solicitors, obviously when we met, and was working there for a year and a half. And during that time, I decided that I wanted to work in social media management and training. And so I trained up, decided, do you know what? Maybe I could just do this for myself. And so I did. I spoke to you about it. And yeah, just went for it, decided that that was how I was going to get into that line of work. And so here I am running
And
BB Social Media.
before that, before you went to Meisen's, what were you doing before?
Before I went to Meissen, I was teaching English at secondary school. I was a teacher for 10 years. So really, well, it's the longest job I've ever had, massive chunk of my life. Um, and I absolutely loved it for a really, really long time until I didn't. And I knew that I needed a massive change. I needed something really, really different, not just a different school or a different role in there. It was time for something completely different. And I felt that what I wanted to do was work in marketing. And so I started looking at marketing roles and in that kind of line of work, which was how I then ended up at Myosin. Um, and then eventually how I ended up doing it for myself.
Yeah, so you worked in the business development section, didn't you? And so Meissen Solicitors hosted the first two networking groups, and then you come saving the day. And we needed to find another venue. And you said, have you heard of the Garrick Playhouse? They've got a great space, and we were there for 12 months, which was a great feel-good factor because we were contributing to that amazing charity. Um, and then one thing leads to another. You decide to leave full-time employment. Like, why? The most steady, safe, stable thing. You were deciding to leave full-time employment and start your own business.
Yes, I
Why would you
am.
do something like that, Ashley? Please tell me.
A few reasons, really. I think, well, the first thing that sort of made me head down this path was being part of Women in Business. I saw essentially this incredible group of women who all had a passion. You know, their individual business and niche was their passion, and rather than, you know, waiting around for the dream job or whatever they felt might come along, they'd gone out and done it themselves, you know, started their own business, put their own stamp on it. And so essentially, I was inspired by all the women at Wibbin to do it myself. And so I did start doing it kind of on the side, bit of a side hustle. And that was great for, you know, a little bit of time while things built up. But then it has got to the point where it was a full-time business and I was doing 2 jobs essentially. And yeah, full-time employment might be more secure, but as we all know, it's not about that necessarily. It's about finding something that you can love doing and be passionate about and enjoy your work. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it?
Yeah, I've always said, do what brings you joy and the money comes. And it's a belief thing. God, the dog's going to bark in a minute. Don't work with animals and children. Yes. So you was a member of Altrincham, and fast forward, and in March, you're going to become a member of Altrincham again under your own business.
Yes, I am, and I'm very excited.
So how are you finding your clients then? Tell me about that. How did a side hustle become a full-time business?
So essentially, I started, when I started doing the business kind of on the side, the very first client I had, probably shouldn't say this, but I was doing it for free. I was helping out a friend, and I thought, I need to see if I can actually do this, if it can be something successful. And it's obviously helpful to have things on your portfolio, things like that. And then my first paying real client actually came through a referral from Wibbin. It's amazing. And so, you know, this is when I was still very much technically only working at Myosin, and the business was not something really that I was shouting about loads because it wasn't a full-time business and it wasn't something, you know, I didn't want to rub anyone up the wrong way. So this amazing person at Wibbin suggested to somebody else, a friend of hers, that she knew somebody who could help with her social media. We had a chat, we got on really, really well. And she became my first paying client, and she's still with me now, which is amazing.
So how long was that then? How long have you had a full retained client for?
About 8 or 9 months now. So yeah, that was the first one that I had, and it's been great. It's been amazing, and it's just kind of grown from there. I think seeing that it was possible kind of gave me the confidence to go out and actually say to people that I met, you know, at Wibbin, as you well know, all of the amazing ladies at Altrincham now know me as Ashley from Myosin, but who also does social media, and they're so supportive and always doing recommendations and referrals. They're just incredible at spreading the word.
Yeah. I'm laughing then because my husband's coming in with some food. And I'm like, no, I've got to do it for a laugh. What's he brought in? Everyone knows, Phil.
I know.
Some broccoli bites. Do you remember the broccoli bites food that he did?
I really like the broccoli bites. They're brilliant, those.
Right. So Phil used to do the food for Wibbin. Fuck it, we're not serious on this podcast, are we? And he used to love cooking the food for you girls. He used to call you my ladies. Oh, what are the ladies getting this time? And I'm like, what about me? So since he stopped making food for Wibbin, I've not had a broccoli bite. I'm like, where's all this gorgeous food? What do I get? So he made me some. Oh shit! He made me some, right? And he was coming in then, and I'm like, oh, stop! I'm on a call. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
Yes. So he does miss the cooking. He does miss the cooking.
I miss his cooking. His food is incredible.
I am very lucky. Yes.
Yeah, you are.
And then we started working together because I'm on 3 social media platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah. I knew nothing about Instagram. Because I'm corporate, I know everything about LinkedIn. I know how to work Facebook, but nothing about Instagram. And because, again, you're in my remit, you're in my world, which is again the power of networking. Which we're going to come on to more about that. So we did a day, didn't we? A day, an hour together.
We had a power hour, yeah, because
Yeah.
it was Instagram engagement we were looking at, wasn't it?
Mm.
Um,
And how to do reels and how to do share. I didn't even know, like when people tag me, can I share it? You know, shit like I don't know. And I didn't want to be scared of it. And anyway, in that hour, you was telling me so much, and you kept saying, "Well, what you can do is this, what you can do is that," and I'm like, "You mean you can?" And that's when you became, I became your client. Like, you mean you can? Yeah.
yeah, that was such a funny session. Yeah, and I think the thing is, loads of people do want social media training because they would like to have that autonomy over it. But at the end of the day, it's not for everybody, and the time commitment is not for everybody. So yeah, it's been interesting to see the different types of clients and businesses who don't have the time or the inclination to manage their own social media. So things have just kind of grown from getting to know what different people want from their social media.
So where have all your clients come from then?
So yeah, so a number have come from referrals through Wibbin, and it's probably I know, yeah, but it's the thing is, it's not just about like I say, even the people in our Wibbin group who are all fantastic and spread the word. The first client I had, she was a lady, like I say, referred from somebody at Wibbin, but actually through somebody who ended up in the morning group, the morning Altrincham group. And so it's just building those long lasting connections. She's not someone I get to see very often anymore, but we've sort of built up that friendship. And so that's really massively been important because I know that there's so many women from Wibbin who I've met who we've then gone on to have one-to-ones. We've had really good chats and just become kind of friends, which is never something I really thought about before from a networking standpoint. So I think that's something very special about Wibbin.
Altrincham is amazing because we all gel, don't we? We all get on. We've all kind of become strangers, become friends. And when I first started networking, I was nervous because I didn't know anyone. I'm creating these groups. Everyone comes to me as a stranger first because I don't know anybody. You rang me up, didn't know you at all. But it soon takes it's like with a few weeks or months, 'cause we meet monthly. After 2 or 3 months, we feel like we've known each other forever, for
Yeah,
ages. Like genuinely known each other for ages. And everybody in all my networking groups now are my friends. Like
yeah,
I haven't. I was going to say I haven't got any friends outside of networking, but then this is my job. So do you remember? Because when I left school, I didn't really keep in touch with anybody from school, but all my friends came from where I worked. Do you mean what job you was in? You like people, you went out for a drink, you went out for a beer or something like that.
yeah,
And it makes sense that of course this is where my friends are going to come from because this is my job. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't mean job like I don't want to say work or job because it's not hard. Sometimes people might say work or a job, but it's like, oh, it's
No, but it's your circle.
I
It's
love
just
it.
a small circle.
Honest to God, Wibbin is the only place I want to hang out. I absolutely love it because the women who have started their own business, they're already champions because they don't follow the crowd. Like I call myself the black sheep because I don't follow the crowd. We're not the norm. We want to break free from the society rules, so to speak, don't we? We're all passionate about what we do. We all want to give back. We're all trying to make the world a better place in our own unique way. And so the next challenge is, where do all these women hang out? So what we're trying to do, we're dipping our toe in different places, and then
Yeah,
we're going, oh, that's what I was like, no, no, it's not quite right for me. And then I'm thinking, shit, is this it?
yeah.
Because then where do all these brilliant people, brilliant women who have started their own business, fucking amazing at what they do, I found right?
No, you're absolutely right.
Where do we all hang out so that we can keep being amazing and keep growing?
Yeah,
And I say women in business networking. Now, it's not just my business because we're a franchise model, and all the other franchisees are beautiful in their own right. They're really good business women. They love to give, they love to create communities
mm,
or because that's what we're lacking, isn't it? That community. Where do we all hang out? And if And I say to anyone now, if there's no community like this in your area, create it. Create
Yeah.
your own. Don't start up a networking group because it's hard work. That's like starting a new business. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Buy a franchise. Call
Yeah.
me. Call me, basically.
No, I
So,
think
yeah, go.
I was just going to say, I think one of the things that really struck me, because when you're a teacher, you don't really network as such. It's not like they have them, but it's not something you're encouraged to do. And as a teacher, it's just not something you've got time to do ever. So when I first came to Myosin, and networking and kind of coordinating networking things was a part of my job for the whole company. And so I sort of stumbled across Wibin, having no idea, what different networking groups are out there. And that was the one that we launched, the one that you launched at Myosin in October 2023, was the first experience I'd really had. And then after that, there were various different groups that I went to, some women only, some everybody. And I've never found anything like Wibin. It's not the same as other groups. I don't know what it is, but I remember coming out of that first meeting that we had and saying to you, I just feel so enlightened. I feel like everybody in there had something incredible to share. And should have seen it then. That was the start of this. It was it was coming right from that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just something really special about it.
And that's why I decided, because I was a member of Wibin for 2 years, and that's why I decided to create my own community, because there's just something in it. If you could it's like you can't quite put your finger on it. I think it's the whole ingredients.
Yeah.
And anyone I would say is like, just come and try it. Come and try it, because it's the best thing ever. So some questions for you. You've answered some of them. What was your experience of networking before Wibin? And you answered that beautifully. Thank you very much. So I'm going to ask you, how has networking helped you in your business? Which I think you've already told us, but
yeah, I mean, in short, I just wouldn't be in business without Wibin and without this group of women, without going too deeply into it, without you specifically, just wouldn't be in business. Because I think the process of starting a business, just when I was younger, my dad had his own business. A random, just ordinary person running their own business didn't seem alien to me, but the actual thought of well, how do you go about it? The process, it seemed quite scary. And then when I sort of started thinking, no, actually, I want to try and do social media management for different people, with different hats on. I want that variety. So I'm going to have to do it myself, really. And I think one of the things that Wibin's really helped with is making that whole process a lot less scary. Just little steps, little things that, you might trip up on, or questions that you have that you never thought to ask anybody. There's always somebody at Wibin who's been there, done that, knows the answer. And so there's somebody to go to. Yeah. And like I say, the encouragement and the support is just incredible.
We're all very generous, aren't we, with our knowledge?
Exactly.
And our time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love. I remember when I first started my own business. I'm an accountant, right? Worked in corporate. And I used to leave the house at 7 in the morning and come back at 7 in the evening. Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't really know my community, didn't really know my neighbours or anything like that. And I remember going, if someone asked me, do you know even I don't know, someone to do your drains? I'm like, no, I don't know anyone. Do you know someone who can do this? No, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
I was so institutionalized in the corporate world. In that little corporate gig, I knew people. And fast forward 5 years, even 2 years, I know so many people now who can help you get you where you need to be.
Yeah.
And that's currency for me. I absolutely love it. It feels great, doesn't it? When someone asks you, do you know anybody who can help me with that? Because obviously you've got clients, and your clients have got different needs as well.
Yeah.
And they can be saying, oh, I've got a problem with that. And you're like, it's all right. I know someone can help you with that. Not just anyone, but genuinely, I know a really nice person who's really good at what they do. And they're really kind and generous, and they won't shaft you. Because they're all my like tick boxes. They won't shaft you. They're really nice to get on with. You like them, you get on with them, and they'll do a good job. But that's the other thing, they'll do a good job.
Yeah. And I think that's the other thing we know from women that you don't always get to see in every single networking group. That I know, even though I've not necessarily worked with every single person in that group, I know from the way that they talk about their industry and, you know, from the business topics that we see, that they're just experts. They are just pros. And having that security when you recommend somebody is so important. It's second to none. So yeah, that is a massive, massive plus point.
So what 5 words would describe Wibin? Describe Wibin in 5 words, your 5 words.
Oh my gosh. I can't remember what words I wrote down, so they might be different words.
Okay.
So I know I've said this one earlier. I would say it every time. It's enlightening. You know, the things that you come out with are just incredible. Inspiring. Like I say, just wouldn't be where I am otherwise. Warm. I think being at Wibin is an incredibly warm experience. And I do think in huge part that is down to you, Susie, because like, you know, coming into a room full of women that you don't know can be really, really scary. And like I say, I had no idea what to expect in networking in general. And at no point did I actually feel out of place, unwelcome, you know, anything like that. It was straight away very settled. I think, what other words? What else did I write down? Am I allowed to ask?
I've got to find it myself. Hold on. You think I'll be prepared, wouldn't you? I'm not.
No, I think I would have remembered what I wrote down.
Connect, inspirational, collaborate, laughter, family.
No, those aren't my words.
No, no, they're not your words.
You.
These are your words. Inspiring, enlightening, lively, different every time.
Yeah.
Knowledge sharing. Does that sound like your words?
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that whole idea of knowledge sharing, like you come out with something every time. You know, every time you come out of Wibin, you've had a great business topic, or you've just, from, you know, chatting to somebody over the sandwiches, you've learned something that you didn't know before about them or their business, or something, you know, that you didn't know how to do. And it's important that you get those chances when you're working on your own. Obviously, I've been in Myosin the whole time that we've been sort of leading up to BB social media being up and running. And so I see people every day, but I'm very conscious of the fact that soon that won't be the case. And soon I'll be working from home all the time with my partner here driving me insane. And it'll be really important to get out and see other people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm a people person, and I definitely get my needs met, my people needs met through Zoom calls, one-to-ones with people, going out networking. Who do you get dressed up for? Do you know what I mean? I wear my dog walking gear. Do you know what I mean? Your gym gears. It's nice to look nice and feel nice.
Yeah.
Whereas my husband, he's not bothered about people, but he knows me. When do you need to get your people needs met? I'm like, and so where'd you go? And it's Wibby.
Yeah. Just need to go and talk to some other like-minded women and just talk about other things. Talk about, you know, it's talking about different industries, different businesses, different parts of your day that it's needed.
And every time we come, you can. What I realise, you can come and bring all of yourself. You know, if you're having a shit day, come and tell us you've had a shit day because we get it. You know what I mean? Where else do you talk business with people who actually get it? Not your family, not your friends, because they don't get it. Different circles don't get it. We get it. And we'll let you have a wallow, but then we'll pick you back up. Pick you back up, right enough now. So, top tips for networking. So, anybody new out there, what's your top tips for networking?
I think one of my top tips is definitely go in there and be prepared to give and take equally. there's nothing worse than going to a networking group and having somebody who just talks about their own interests, their own business, and doesn't really partake in kind of give and take. So go in there ready to kind of listen to what everybody else has got to say, and share what you do as well. But, you know, like we said, you never know what kind of help or inspiration somebody else is going to come out with. And I think that's really important. And I think on a similar note, be open-minded, you know, go in there and speak to everybody as best you can, listen to everybody's, you know, their monthly minute and find out what you can about them. And as you always remind us, follow up, because it can seem quite a lot, I think, sometimes, especially when, you know, you're both going to be very busy, to book in those one-to-ones and actually find the time to do it. But I've never had one where I didn't come away and think, oh, that was so worth it. You know, it's great to get to know her, and it's really going to find that part of, you know, useful later on. And so, yeah, follow up is definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Make new friends as well as business things. So.
Definitely. And if you're going to networking events and you're not meeting people that you want to follow up with, you need to change the rooms that you're in, because there's and even if it's just one person, because all it takes is that one person to make the difference, isn't it? You might have one person think, I just need to finish off our conversation with that girl. She's absolutely fascinating. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I just meet people like, oh my God, you're just fascinating. I just need to sit and listen to you for a bit. Because something will come. And sometimes even at the end of the conversation, I go, there it is. Just always the reason for that conversation. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Never lets me down. So tell us about your packages and how we can work with you. And do you have a WIBIN offer?
Yes. So my packages, I offer everything from full social media management. So if you don't want to look at social media ever again, I will manage it for you, and produce all of your content and engage with your audience and all of those kinds of things that you need to do. Sorry, my cat is scratching my chair. Stop it. So social media management. I also offer social media training on all different platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And now my boyfriend's coming home. This is a disaster.
We're nearly over. Come on, got
this. So yeah, social media training in different platforms, which I can do one-to-one or in small groups. You know, so if you've got a couple of employees or you want to band together a few of you and sort of work together, then that can be done as well. And I also offer social media health checks. So if you are not getting the results that you want from your social media, but you do still want to manage it yourself and all of those kinds of things, I will produce a report for you with like strengths and actions and things to take away and put in place. So my WIBIN offer, if I can remember rightly from what I wrote on the thing.
Make it up. Fine.
Honestly, no, I'm pretty sure my WIBIN offer was 20% off any training. Yes. So if you are interested in a training package, whether it's just a 1 hour... This thing all gone mad in the last 5 minutes.
Time. Is that what it is?
Apparently so. Whether it's a 1 hour power hour, or we can do 3 hour training sessions a bit more in depth, I will offer 20% off those. So
very generous of you. Anybody in WIBIN gets that.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much. So thank you. That was me and Ashley. And if you want to meet Ashley, she'll be an official member of Altrincham from March, won't you? Is that right?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Can't wait. So excited. And Altrincham, we've moved to a new venue. We're at the Bull's Head in Hellbound. So that's the first time we're meeting there. So I'm really excited. Not Phil's Food. I'm so sorry. It's not Phil's Food.
I'm sure the Bull's Head will be very nice.
Well, thank you very much. And I hope to see you, whoever's listening, at a networking group.
Thank you very much.